Fireball 5.
But we have launched. Folks, welcome to the Random Tavern Chat.
I love that countdown, though.
I know.
I keep thinking of like Thunderbirds or Fireball 5 or Supercar.
Thunderbirds! So, folks, if you don't know, if you're here, you probably know that I'm Eric Tenkar. And if you're here, you probably know that this is Glenn Hallstrom, Old Man Grognard. Okay? So, for those of you that don't know, this is going to be a semi-irregular, regular live stream. Mm-hmm. And when I say regular, irregular, there will be a live stream on a weekly basis at 1 p.m. on a weekday. But the weekday will change because I have a sheet of paper with appointments on it between myself.
But make no doubt about it, we are regular.
We are regular because we almost were late because I was being regular in the
exactly.
Exactly. And I don't have those prunes. I don't need prunes just yet. I'm only 57, folks. Although
I know I don't get it. I hate prunes, but I like fig Newtons.
Yeah. Oh God.
Something about the fig Newtons. I don't know. It's good.
Well, I like the fake Newtons, the strawberry Newtons. I
never had one of those.
Yeah. Well,
I just came from Walmart and picked up a 12-pack. I saw there, and it's a blind buy, a 12-pack of blackberry Dr. Pepper.
Dude, that is a blind buy that I would be jumping over you to grab.
Okay, I've never had it before.
Neither have I. I've never even heard.
I thought of getting like a 20-ounce bottle to try it out first, but it's like I don't see it around. Okay, grab.
No, that sounds like spot on heaven on earth.
I had to go to Walmart to pay too much for my Ozempic, so
all that stuff is too much.
These diet people, I mean, they're making it really hard for us real diet, people who really need it like us.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm a type 2 diabetic. No, you got to go to the back of the line. We got to get the.
I found out that the company who makes it comes out with another product called Zygot, I think it is. It's the same damn thing, but they're marketing it to weight loss people.
Oh, I guess what Wegovy is or something like that.
Yeah, believe that?
I believe it. Listen, when I was taking my Mounjaro, the pharmacy I went to was in this nice upper middle class neighborhood. Mm-hmm. No other pharmacy could keep it in stock. This place,
very Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah, right to the background, very Jewish neighborhood. And you'd go. It was a small, beautiful little pharmacy. Half of their back was refrigeration for GPL-1. I mean, I swear to God, it really it struck me. It's like, oh no, what? No, I understand now why my doc sent me here. This should be here with an armed guard.
Speaking of which, has nothing to do with this, but if you ever go on YouTube, and I don't know if you've seen this, but type in Monty Python, The Adventures of Martin Luther.
Oh my.
Probably one of the funniest sketches I've ever seen. It was, you remember Meaning of Life? It's a cut scene they cut out from Meaning that before they issued it. They put it on like all the DVDs and the Blu-rays, but it is hilarious. It's like Terry Jones is playing Martin Luther, like some kind of pervert who talks like Jimmy Durante.
Oh,
and the whole thing. I mean, it's beautiful. It's period piece and everything. But him, Michael Palin, and the other guy, they're all playing it like it's a vaudeville sketch, and it's hilarious.
All right.
Anyway,
10 minutes.
The Adventures of Martin Luther.
So
now role playing.
Well, here I'm gonna, folks. I'm not exposing myself when I do this camera.
Well, just sit down.
Wait. I'm wearing my number one troubleshooter shirt. So
and appropriately, it's red.
I've only got a security clearance. Just saying. But I got this shirt at ShireCon because Bob Goodenough Bob was running Paranoia, and everybody in our party had a title. I had two. I was party leader and number one troubleshooter. So I
Mhm.
came out of that with two shirts, and I love
You were the
these shirts.
team leader.
I am team leader. So Rach was loyalty officer and has a shirt to match. But these are like little props that Bob does with, and he had other props. He had happy pills. All right.
They were
What were they again?
what do they call that? It's not an M&M. It's like a round M&M.
Yeah, it's like a fake
very like
chicky. I don't remember, but they're like fake M&Ms. Little candy coated chocolate.
Sixlets. That's
Sixlets. There we go. So he did a lot of props. Now I am not a propper, but Glenn is
A bit.
a bit of a propper. But Glenn also does sound effects. And I'm not talking about like the human beatbox sound effects. He does voices. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I've used props. I do sound effects and music. But my theory is, if it gets in the way of the game running smoothly, I will get rid of it. Even in mid-session, I will stop doing it.
All right. So now, Glenn, you run games at conventions. I run games at conventions. When you run a game at a convention, do you run it differently than if you were running it at
somebody's house?
Somebody's house in an established campaign. In other words,
probably. I do try and go the extra mile for a con.
Yeah. So you're selling people paid to be at your table.
It also depends on what kind of game I'm running. Gangbusters, I usually pull out all the stops for that.
Right.
But if it's just a regular D&D game, if I have a little music, fine. If I don't, let's go. Let's start rolling. And I do have my box of props. That's mainly for gangbusters with fake mustaches, and I got a monocle and a pipe in there. And these... look at that wire rim.
I remember those now.
You know what these are?
What?
These are my very first prescription glasses.
Really?
Yeah, long time ago. And I even still have the lenses for them. I just couldn't, the lenses kept falling out, so I got rid of them, and I kept them to use for shows and stuff. I had to take the glass out anyway because it'll too much glare off, on the stage. So I use these for my, my kit of props for role playing. What about you? What about you, Skippy?
I don't really use much in the way of props.
We're lucky to have you wear a hat. So
yeah, I come on, man. By the way, we have GM Cactus in the chat right now. I met GM Cactus at Page. It was it's always great to be able to put a face to the community members.
Mm-hmm.
And as an aside, the reason why we are doing this, like I said, is to reach people who our normal live stream hours, which is invariably 8 o'clock, although this Sunday it is 7 p.m. Eastern for the inappropriate characters re-rolled. So
you moved Gamers Health to Saturday?
It's usually on Saturday. We've moved it to Sundays in the past because we've been at cons and stuff. Now, inappropriate characters is only going to be once a week. So if you're going to catch it, it's the week for this month. It's only once a month. Sorry, inappropriate characters. It's the last Sunday of the month. So, but I worry more about at a convention game the pacing. Victory Lane.
Well, hi Vic. I mean, so do I. That's one of the reasons why I'm saying all this extra stuff, it goes out if pacing suffers.
And you run, you're like me. You like rule systems that you don't have to refer to the rules. At a convention,
the best way I can explain it is a long time ago in the 80s, when I was with my girlfriend Sylvia, I had my first encounter with a computer. She bought a Mac Plus for her schooling.
Okay.
And she said, the thing I really like about a Mac is when I'm using like Word to write a paper or something, I don't have to think about the software.
Right.
And that's the kind of rule system I want, where I mean, yeah, okay, I know it back of my head, like BX or something. I know it, but I don't have to sit there and go, should I look this up? All this kind of stuff.
Right.
That kills the pace right there. And it's just annoying as hell, too, to the players and to me. So I want a game system that's simple enough where I can just either simple enough or I've ran it enough.
Game knowledge will trump simplicity. If you listen, there are DMs that have excellent knowledge of 5e, Rollmaster, whatever you're
more power to them. They can run.
But if you're going to run a game at a convention, that's not the place to learn how to run a game.
Right.
Okay. You can learn how to run a game with your home group. That's what they're there for. You've got, we're going to be doing this for the next half dozen sessions or longer. They know what they're in for. But when you're at a convention, people are stepping up for 3, 4, 5 hours of gameplay, not rules lookup.
Right. Look, I don't worry about pace as much in a regular home game.
Right.
But I do, keep it in mind. I do consider it because we're going to be here on a regular basis at this table, so if it bogs down one session, I'll pick it up in the next.
Right. If the players want to do the Joe the Lawyer home shopping expedition and spend the whole, I want to go to 7 different vendors looking for the best price on, if that's what makes you happy, that's great. However, at a convention, nobody, except for individual players, the group does not want to sit around twiddling their thumbs as the 1 or 2 players are trying to get the perfect combination of items for the backpack.
Well, let me tell you, if your your players want to go on a shopping expedition, let them do it. Have a shopping expedition in that scenario, in that session, because there is nothing saying you can't have encounters like between stores or at the stores or stuff like that. So a fight might break out. Something role play might break out, especially with the shopkeepers. So yeah, it's all good. It's all role playing.
Just remember, if you're going to do that, you're improvising. And I know for Glenn and I, improvise is like a middle name. All right, it's how we like to roll because it means the players are keeping us on our toes.
2 different types of GMs. One, they go off the beaten path and they want to shop or do something you hadn't expected. One GM will do this.
Do you really want to do that?
Let's take a break. And that'll get monotonous every time they do that. But people like us, they'll go off the script or talk to somebody you didn't expect. I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. But that's me and that's you. So
yeah, I mean, I hate it when you're at a convention and again, your home game, we all know, hey, I'm coming back for the next session. There's not, when somebody goes, when one person wants to steer the party in a totally different, or walk off, split the party. You don't split the party at a convention. All right? This is an unwritten rule, but there's a reason for it. You're now going to take twice the amount of time to accomplish what was going to be accomplished before.
Unless you're playing gangbusters where they automatically split up.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about
that's the nature of the game. Random victory. Do you like random encounter tables for travel, etc.? Sure. What do you think?
I like random event tables, and when I say random event,
that'll work too.
It's not like, because when you do random encounter tables, like the old, especially I guess in what is it 2E, and you had like what was it, the roll 2d12 or whatever the hell their tables were.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was a combat encounter, and I
Mhm.
want it where, it's an event.
It's funny. I've had some of my best running gags in my game from encounter tables.
So I like it, yeah, but I like it where it's like, well, all right, it's a single deer breaks out from the trees to your left and runs across the path in front of you. What spooked it? Did you guys spook it? Did something else spook it earlier? It should be a little bit more. Maybe they find a dead body.
My players, you spook them with a deer comes out of the forest and runs back in. Half of them will go that way with their bows.
Yeah, it's true.
We're gonna eat venison tonight. Yeah.
So all right, so let's take random encounters a step further, because I've had this discussion. My group has had the discussion with Joe the lawyer.
Mhm.
Joe doesn't believe in random encounters. He believes in set encounters. And if you go to location A, this is programmed to happen. But my issue with that is if you do stuff like that, then you actually need to give it a 24-hour clock. Well, if you're there between these hours and these hours, this happens. These hours and these hours, X is out hunting. These hours and these hours, X is sleeping. I mean, I think random events covers a whole swath of stuff. And you have to remember, too, random events, random encounters aren't meant to be realistic. They're meant to break up the game and add events that would be unexpected.
Mhm.
That's what makes it feel more alive and more realistic.
Let me give you an example of a timed encounter. In the Hyperborea module, The Lone Trapper's Lament, one of the first things you find is the trapper and his family. The trapper has been attacked by a zombie or whatever, and
Right.
he's in his bed. He's ill. He's going to die. He's going to turn into a zombie. What's going to happen is basically, as a GM, he's going to die. He's going to turn into a zombie, and then either infect the rest of his family or kill them. Okay. And what happens depends on when the PCs get there.
Okay. Well, that is cool.
That is cool because I can decide when the PCs get there. They have no idea. I can decide what's going on when they get there.
No, that is spot on. And that allows you to control to some extent the direction that it's going to go in.
Yeah. When I ran it the first time, my players, they got there when he was just getting ready to kick off, and the wife is crying and the son is, oh my God. And he dies there. And he gets up about a few, maybe 30 seconds later as a zombie to, do what zombies do.
Right.
And I remember it because one of my players had the misfortune of sitting on the bed when he got up. And he told me this. He even said, I was like, I'm sitting on the bed. Oh, okay. Let's roll some stuff. Okay.
Oopsie.
Yeah. But yeah, those kind of encounters are very interesting to do.
I mean, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Glenn's going to be game mastering at North Texas. I just ran a session at page 2. If I run anything at TotalCon, it'll be likely off the grid, but I will be running something at WizardCon in April. Definitely, maybe not at North Texas, but definitely Central New York Con in June, ShireCon in September. My God, there's a lot of these convention things going on this year. But I mean, I find that I enjoy the challenge of. Actually, here's one. I enjoy the challenge. Glenn, do do you ever get? I don't know. I don't want to call it stage fright, but do you get that nervousness before you DM, not in front of your group, but in front of strangers at a con?
Not anymore. I'm more concerned with what I'm so like my head's so much in the prep beforehand. It's
Right.
like yeah. Here's a blank character sheet. Start. You know, I mean, I'm not being rude or anything to him.
No.
It's just like, hi, how you doing? I'm Glenn. You guys, because I don't do pre-gens anymore. When I did pre-gens, I said, here's a pile of pre-gens, pick one out.
Right.
But now it's like we're all making it at the table. So basically they're doing that and I'm finishing up whatever I need to finish up with pause for questions or things like
Right.
that. So my head's too into getting ready to run the game to really be nervous about it. Now, if somebody handed me a module like they do with you and say, here, run this, I might be concerned a bit.
A bit.
And I sure as hell ain't going to be beating myself up after the game. Say, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Well, I did it with 10 minutes of time to get ready.
Right.
So,
well, and I'll be honest with you. You know, if I am running something that's pre-written, like, oh God, what was the one with the shower curtains on the floor?
oh, the Tingle Manor.
Tingle Manor. Thank you. Seeing a moment here, folks. I'm reading the areas where I think my players are going to be, and then I go to myself. Tingle Manor is a funhouse dungeon.
It is.
I am running it with first level Swords and Wizardry like characters. I am aiming for flavor. I'm not aiming for reenactment. It should feel like you're going through Teagle. It should feel like a funhouse dungeon.
Well, I'm convinced that Teagle Manor is next door to Castle Amber.
Oh, it certainly could be.
Yeah.
I mean, but when I was running, what do you call it? Mouth of Doom.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Mouth of Doom, though, it's another one where the map is in front of the players. And what happened, and it's a 3D terrain, and it looks beautiful, and you got many. Here's the issue: if you give your players time, they will metagame. They will look at that map and they will study and go, "Ooh, Mr. Carter, this room over here looks really interesting. That's where I want to go." So you don't give them the time to metagame. You keep the pace moving, and the only way you keep that pace moving is here. Little secret how I ran Mouth of Doom. I had the map in front of me. I knew certain locations, and I didn't refer to the creature list for any of those rooms that was in the module. 2 reasons for it. One, it was a published adventure. If I refer to that, there are going to be people who are going to not saying gamers metagame, just saying gamers metagame. So I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I'm adjusting something down to levels 1, 2. And the best way to do that is to keep things moving, keep it on the fly. And that requires not necessarily good note taking, but it does require note taking. So you remember what you've thrown out and where you threw it out at, because your players will correct you if you fuck up. If you misremember these sons of bitches, Marcelo, to really furnish gems, it's better to do it on the spot. I brought 6 PCs for a 6-player table, and there's always someone has to say, okay, I guess I'll be the thief then. Yeah. I run my Swords and Wizardry Light, let the players create their characters, and we've never had any holes that were indispensable. But you got to remember, too, if you have a thief in the party, you got to throw in instances where their abilities come into play. Whether it's
that should be the case for every class. I know thieves have their skills, but other people need to shine also.
Right. like I award an extra first level spell if you have an intelligence of 15 or better as a magic user. But I also, here's a secret. At convention play, when players are casting their spells, and sometimes people misinterpret, like I only get 1 or 2 spells, and they think they get each spell that's on that sheet of Swords of Wizardry Light. I don't correct them. You know why? It's not changing the game balance for a one shot in at a convention. Nothing sucks more than Rach, who one of her earliest sessions of Swords and Wizardry Light. I think this was at North Texas.
Ooh, I'd like to game there, Vic.
Yeah. She played her first magic user. She cast her 1 spell in the bar brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And then she threw her daggers, and then she's like, what do I have left? Because you don't want to stand on the side and do nothing, right? That sucks. So she wound up fighting with iron spikes. So, do you really want your players stuck into that position? You want them to be involved. So I gave out scrolls early on to allow my magic users a little flexibility.
Right.
Victory, I've only DM'd for my family, but we have a 150-year-old barn. I want to make a D&D room.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's nice.
Oh,
On hosting tabletop events. That would be...
Oh, by the way, Vic, I like the idea of singing satyrs, especially if they're all together and drunk.
Say. Oh, no, I'm thinking of dreidel. I'm sorry. If you can't tell, I'm a New Yorker, and you were exposed to everything, and I'm thinking of the dreidel song when you say Seda.
Hanukkah, then be good.
Yeah.
Gather all around the bed, and we'll screw the horror. No, I'm sorry. What?
Oi, I'm all verklempt here, Glenn. You can't do such to me.
What can I say? It's a mitzvah.
Mein Gott. So, by the way, folks, just so you know, we were briefly toying around with the idea of playing with accents during this live stream and occasional sentences in foreign languages because, of course, we're doing this not just for those that work off hours or somehow are home during the day like we are in the USA or Canada, but for those who are across the pond, like the UK and Germany and Aussie land, our Kiwis, and figured they might appreciate us, tearing apart their vernacular with a few of ours. But
why not?
Why not?
Why not? Oh my God! Oi, McGoy.
Oi, McGoy. Hold on a second here. It's a small barn, barely fits a car, and it's completely filled on the first floor with 20 years of construction tools in it.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty much
par for the course.
Yeah, let's say that seems like most. As long as it's not falling down, that's great. A lot of the barns that I see when I'm up in the Poconos that look
getting ready to go.
Sizable, they're all tilting about 30 degrees to one side or the other. Top floor is all your D&D terrain stuff. Got
good place for it. I don't use terrain.
I don't either.
I could make it. I could buy it. It's like my not having miniatures, having tokens instead. It's the same thing. That's just something I tried. I had a collection of minis. I tried so hard to get into the hobby, like painting them and stuff. And it couldn't hold my interest, which is funny because I'm an artist, but painting minis just wasn't getting it for me.
I enjoyed painting minis. Oh my God, 30 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
But once, and I would do the ink wash, and I would do the dry brushing. Paul, good to see you. We wish you good recovery, sir. Paul had surgery yesterday. But he was able to pop in at the very last moment to catch last night's live stream. To see him in today makes me feel good because I've been there. 2020 was my year of hospitalization. No COVID, hospitalized 3 times. And that's the only 3 times I was hospitalized in my adult life.
Well,
So,
I had that colonoscopy a few weeks ago, so I don't know what the year's holding for me as far as that goes.
yeah, Rach has hers next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, the way to schedule is I have my endocrinologist appointment.
I don't know if the guy who did it, he said, I'm not a urologist, but we've done a dozens of these. And the third thing I thought was, that doesn't really give me any confidence in you. You're not a urologist, but I've done plenty of these.
I've done some on TV.
Yeah.
It worked out well.
I watched a YouTube video. I know how to do it.
Videos are great, man. Videos are great. So yeah, no. Next, I drop Rachel off early at her appointment, go to my appointment, and then swing back to pick her up after her ass has been thoroughly inspected. Which
well, hopefully they're not going to find anything. I mean, they found something in mine, but they took care of it. So,
okay.
Start talking about precancerous material. It's like, you better take care of it. Yes, sirree.
Let's see. Victory. I have model trains and model cars. It's like the storage area for my hobbies.
Why not?
Yeah.
At least you got storage area.
Yeah. I mean,
we've got 2,000 square feet in this place, and I still don't have enough room for stuff.
I'll pass all the good thoughts on to Rach. Yeah. No, it's it's the reason why Rach and I do Gamers Health on Saturday nights. It's important for us because everybody goes through health issues, right?
By the way,
emotional.
Yeah, they do. They do. Did you break up? No, you didn't break up. The sound. I thought you broke up.
Every once in a while my internet does a hiccup.
Yeah.
And
I just found out in 30 minutes, GM Philosopher is going live, in case anybody's interested in that. I still haven't been able to I don't know how to contact that guy. I wanted to help him promote his looking for new people thing, but that's another reason why I had Mark on, is because I couldn't get a hold of him.
Okay. Well, having Mark on was great.
Yeah. Mark's always a lot of fun.
He needs better. Listen, I'm going to be the critiquer here. I am the low tech guy with my virtual green screen behind me, which cuts off part of my head. And Mark needs better lighting. But
true.
Other than that, it was great. We'll bring Mark on. If we do this on a weekly basis during the day, it's just an extra opportunity to bring on special guests and stuff.
Right.
And connect and we'll build up an audience. It's just
we might even hit the sweet spot of getting people across the pond on here too, like Glenn Seal or somebody.
Oh God, yeah. Haven't spoken to Glenn in ages.
So he doesn't have to be there at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
We could even perchance grab James Raggy one day. He'll have a shirt on. I'm sorry. There is a dress code. No shirt, no service. I know James does it differently on his channel. Love the man. Love him. He needs to wear a shirt. Only James Spahn can go around shirtless, and even James can't do it on this channel.
Since we're on the internet, he can't kick you in the ball sack. So,
yeah, ball sack. You gotta.
Wonderful picture. Wonderful picture.
Victory Lane, our house is less than 300 square foot, and we have a 2-car garage. We are making a house, and the really old barn is very fun. We have to build a new barn for our race cars. Then I'll build a D&D room. God bless.
300 square feet. Maybe I ought to move into one of the barns.
I love watching all the tiny home channels or the mobile home channels because honestly, that's affordability. There's no affordability here in New York City at all. So
Well, what are you drinking, by the way?
I am. Well, first off, I'm drinking out of my Stanley cup, and I am drinking. I don't know, a kiwi berry, a Crystal Light squirt into my cup.
Well, people see me doing this. I've been being naughty and eating conversation hearts since it's the season.
Oh my god! Oh god! Valentine! Oh shoot!
Yeah, that's my last bag. That's my last bag too, because they're just
I
about
got to
full.
get on to the Valentine's Day shopping soon. Oh my god!
I'm not supposed to be eating these, but what are you going to do?
So
It is what it is. If I have a coronary while we're on the air, I'm sorry, folks.
no joking about such. Not allowed.
Okay.
With Valentine's Day coming up, the tradition. This was going on since before Rich and I got married. Is I get her a gold-plated rose every year from Steven Singer, and out in Philadelphia. She had to collect. Why buy your wife, a dozen roses that just fall apart and go bad after a couple of days? So we do the gold-plated roses with different tints.
I already bought some stuff for Becky. She got a stuffed cow from Gund and a cow towel for, I don't know, for bathing, and what the heck? Oh yeah, a coffee cup that's got cow, the black and white spots, and the 4 feet are udders. She said, "Get me something. Surprise me if you want to get me something." I said, "I don't know what you like." Well, you did it before. Do it again. I said, so all I did was go on Amazon and put cow decor, and all this came up. It was funny. She likes cows in there. She likes the roosters, and for some reason, she's starting to collect elephants, the ceramic elephants.
I don't think elephants live on a farm.
No, I mean, she's got cow stuff hanging in the kitchen, which is understandable. It's a kitchen, so
right.
But the living room, other stuff goes in there. She has great taste, so.
Well, then it's all okay. Victory Lane. I don't know if you know, but there is a WizardCon in Battle Creek, Michigan, this April. Give it a look on. I'll be there. It's a special guest. Look it up.
I thought it was Kalamazoo.
Well, the Battle Creek, Kalamazoo area. It's all.
Oh, I didn't know it was near. Hey,
Dave. Dave. So, Dave. This live stream is for you. Well, you and
this Dave's for you. This one's for you.
This one's for you, Dave. No, we're going to on this channel do a weekday weekday for us. I guess evening for you. Live stream once a week on a weekday. The weekday may change. It will be 1 p.m. New York time, 12 p.m. Central. I don't know what that works out to be in the UK. But we want to give options for those in the community that are across the pond and beyond to participate. And I really think that this will catch on. I really
like
do.
COVID.
Well, I hopefully not like COVID.
Like mold. Or moss. I don't know.
Cold or moss, maybe. I'm trying to find out if I can find the link to Don's Con.
Oh, it's 6:40 now over where Dave is. I'll bet he's thankful.
Oh, here we go. So, and that's an easy URL to remember. All right, so it is April 25th through the 27th.
I told Mark I can't go because he really wanted me to go, and I said I couldn't go, and then I find out it's over my birthday.
Oh, okay.
26th is my birthday. Well, I'll just have to make up for it in June.
There you go. Yeah, I actually got invited to another convention that weekend, Rising Phoenix Con in Massachusetts. I had to politely turn that one down. I can
Mhm.
only be in so many places at once. I haven't learned how to clone myself yet,
Mhm.
but if we get there, so again, Victory. That's the link to the convention. It's going to be its first year. I think they're expecting a couple of hundred people. Should be pretty good. I'm a
And
special.
Mark will be premiering the new Gangbusters BX there.
Yes, Mark Hunt will be a special guest. Gangbusters BX second edition will be releasing at the con.
Looking forward
So,
to that.
so Victory, you come to the con.
It'll be
You
your
know,
first con. Make North Texas your second one then.
yeah, you know what I look like. Search me out. Shake my hand. We don't bite. Okay, let me just put it to you that way. For most of us, whether we are creatives on YouTube or publishers or writers or artists
Or bloggers.
or bloggers, even the creatives that get published, they're not getting paid a lot. But what really makes it worth the time and the effort is to just meet the community that appreciates your work. So
Yeah, when you see you in North Texas, come up, shake my hand. I always carry hand sanitizer, so don't worry about it.
yeah, Glenn's. Well, first off, North Texas hands out hand sanitizer in your goodie bag.
What do you think? I got my stash.
And I know I really Doug Ray. I insulted the man when I told him I thanked him for the hand sanitizer because it was so good at clearing the dry erase
Yes,
battle
it
mat.
does a great job on a battle mat.
And he's like, "That's not what it's there for."
He did that to me too.
I go, huh? And of course, that was all before COVID. Then after COVID,
Right.
it was like gold, liquid gold. I tell you.
Yeah, but I always carry a bottle now when I'm going to game if I'm running or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick it in my game bag. Getting those little like this is a pretty big one, but it's a travel size Walmart brand.
Okay.
It's like what $1.75.
Yeah. I mean,
These
honestly,
are the ones. These are the ones that they hand out in North Texas. This size.
yep. Yeah, Matt, this is going to be weekly. I can't guarantee you what day of the week,
Hey, Matt.
but it will be 12 Central, 1 Eastern, somewhere between Monday and Friday. It's gonna, listen, the fact of the matter is, between me, Rach, and my parents, I got a lot of doctor's appointments to cover. So I can't say it's always going to be this day, but we'll make sure because it's getting a decent turnout. And we wanted to make sure people across the pond, across the world, could get to participate in the live streams. And glad, Matt, see you over here. So the daytime lives will get announced at least 24 hours in advance. Okay, so if you have us on a notification on YouTube, it'll go up there. If you're on a Discord, the notification will go up there. We'll make sure that there's, of course, on Facebook, but don't tell anybody. Matt's watching from his job. So imagine getting paid, Glenn, to watch us on a live stream.
Really?
Yes.
So should we call his job and rat on him? Or?
No. I think we should encourage lots of people to do this as long as your job does not involve driving or operating heavy machinery. If it involves driving or operating heavy machinery, please, I beg you, just listen.
Well, they can listen to us. I
Yeah,
guess.
just listen. Don't you those in those situations you don't watch. Just saying.
Oh,
Oh God.
yeah. Hey, Matt, there's a phone call.
Matt,
I want to see if it worked. Oh.
You're bad, Glenn. You're bad, I tell you. You're bad.
Matt, your boss is standing right behind you.
Oh. Hello, housekeeping. You want chocolate for your pillow? Ah,
Where the hell's Eric and what'd you do with him?
dude, I'm not even sure where the hell I am sometimes. But I mean, and listen, if you want a themed live stream, Glenn and I are happy to do so. Just hit us up on social media and
Yep.
say, "Hey, I'd like you guys to do a show on how to improvise NPCs on the spot." We're happy to do that. Buy down, boss is coming. See, Glenn, you did it, Glenn. It's all you. It's all you, Glenn.
Well, here's a little. After I get off this show, I gotta do my tomorrow's episode of Radio Grognard,
Right.
which I have a title for:
Ooh, do tell.
How to Annoy Your PCs.
I can think of a lot of ways.
This
But
is going to be an interesting talk.
I am
Here's the main gist of it. It's fun to annoy them because it's good role playing and things like that, but you got to tread a fine line. And it all depends on how you read the room too. If your players don't put up with that kind of stuff, I'm sure you've had players who run into an NPC who they find annoying, and I kill them. None of that stuff. At least, I hope so.
all right.
That kind of thing annoys me, especially if they're all trigger happy. If you know what I mean.
Dave wants to know if you annoy characters or players.
Well, hopefully just the characters.
Maybe a little spill over there, Dave.
I figure if you annoy the players too much, they'll take you aside and say, "Hey, look."
So
Or just stop playing your game.
Dave, early 8-bit flights in game had a boss key. You'd hit it to put a fake spreadsheet on the screen.
I remember those, the boss keys. Yeah.
Well thought out, sirs. Well thought out.
Remember the days, the early computer days, where you walked by about half the cubicles and they'd have solitaire on the screen?
Yeah. Or what was the other one?
Minecraft? No.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. I could never figure out how to play that damn thing. I could never play that thing.
Yeah, Minesweeper was like it was a math game.
Yeah.
And you had to be
dumb.
So like I am the official. Ever since I was little, I'm always like the official trunk loader on family vacations because I can look and do that Tetris shit where everything has a place. You got to have that kind of a mind for Minesweeper.
Yeah, and then somebody says, "Where's such and such?" Yeah, I don't remember which suitcase I put it in.
Oh, I don't know what's in what suitcase. I just know how to put every suitcase and bag and piece of shit in the trunk effectively.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I should put this out now. If you're at TotalCon and you're looking for one of those sports bar mirrors, and you're a Mets fan and a Corona drinker, I know it's a lot of requirements. Search me out because that would probably still be in my trunk, and I am happy to give it a proper home. It's a beautiful mirror. I have no space. No space. No space. No space. If I had space, I'd be putting up original artwork that
In your car or in your home?
in my home.
Wait a minute, I've seen your home. Never mind.
There's not much space on these walls. And by the way, these walls are not they're old walls. They're all plaster walls. So it's not like hanging up a painting is an easy job because you got to find a stud. So I know we got Glenn, we got me. You got 2 studs, 2 for the price of 1. Who am I kidding? You're here for free. You didn't. You're not being charged anything. It's an amazing value. Look at that value that we give you.
I've been to your home. I stopped watching Hoarders, but
It really, when you have limited space, you got to find a way to get as much into as little space as possible. And if you're a gamer by nature, you're a hoarder.
nah, I've seen episodes of Hoarders. I ain't anywhere near a hoarder. Neither
No.
are you. Neither are you.
But to some extent, you accumulate games often faster than you can find homes for 'em.
Look, if you collect stuff, that's the risk you always take.
Yes. Now I do remember a hoarding apartment that was, oh God, a girl I dated back in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Her grandparents, who were like in their 90s at the time, had this apartment that rent control. They were paying like next to nothing on it, and it was full of like newspapers stacked. Like they never got rid of newspapers. And they listen. It isn't a happy ending, and it's certainly not that kind of a happy ending. So get your mind out of the gutter. But so they passed because getting through this clutter, the husband, the grandfather, held on to a piece of furniture, a chest of drawers, and he fell and brought it down with him on him. And the wife wasn't strong enough to get past it. So she essentially died of starvation. And yeah, it was not fun. But I still remember
Wouldn't call IMSA or something.
the phone. This is before they didn't have a wireless phone. The one phone was in the kitchen. She couldn't get to it. And her son, this girl's father, didn't check up for like, I don't know, 3 days, 4 days. So, but I still remember the advice that I was given by the grandmother. And in retrospect, when this incident happened, I was like, oh God. She advised me to always buy expensive furniture because furniture will last forever, and it's an investment. They were Scottish, and in the end, the furniture killed them.
You can't help with that.
So, words of wisdom, folks. We'll try to give you words of wisdom every one of these.
Don't roll your dice on a chest of drawers. No, that's not.
Don't roll your dice on your girlfriend's chest or somebody else's girlfriend's chest.
Okay. And they say I'm bad.
Who says you're bad, Glenn?
They say I go there when I shouldn't.
Oh well, you know, I'm punch drunk. No, I'm happy that one of my New Year's resolutions was to start these daytime live streams,
Mm-hmm.
to get them out there, and I'm glad we did. And the chat has been going pretty well, and I'm damn well happy with it. I really gotta say that.
I had a little time. I thought I'd hop in. So
I know. I really do appreciate that, Glenn.
no problem. Got to get this off to a good start, you know.
Right. And
got to make enough room for Bad Mike to get here. So
Bad Mike would have to.
I'll just get a hold afterwards. I'll just get. All right, I started it for you. Get your ass in here.
Yeah. Don't kill your wife, girlfriend's character. You will be sleeping on the sofa. Yeah, I've killed my wife's character in Swords and Wizardry Light, and I didn't sleep on the sofa. But Rach understands how interchangeable those characters are. So, but if I was doing that in a home campaign, I think that.
You get up in the middle of the night, can't sleep, go lay on the sofa for a while.
No
shame to it. No shame.
Usually, when I get up from my my early morning bathroom trip, I stay out and I go into the recliner because the cat wants me at that point. The cat, meow, 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 meow. I was like, all right.
I always want to turn on the TV and watch something, but the TV is like our bedroom's like right near the front room, and I can't, too loud. I try to turn on that white noise like the rain and stuff.
Right.
Used to work, doesn't work anymore.
Oh shit.
I have a couple apps on my phone, and I try and still, listen to the rain, listen to the rain. Shut off your mind. Can't do it. Can't do it. Thinking about tomorrow's game. Can't do it.
You see, folks, you're important to Glenn. That's how you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Adventures still don't come easy to me.
Right.
Still don't come easy. I mean, I'm happy with what I get, out of my brain. I mean, you can't, to me, man cannot live on modules alone. Let me put it that way.
No. You need something more.
These got to start sparking your brain.
I actually like going to one of the AIs. I've defaulted to Grok X's AI, and I'll say, hey, give me 10 adventure synopses for a low-level adventure for an old-school D&D style RPG. And then I look at the 10 and go, all right, well, this one and this one kind of work. Can I mesh them together? And then I have something that I can then build off of.
Or this one kind of works if I do a little rewriting and
right.
things.
That's what
it's there for.
Yeah, that's it. AI should be treated as your random tables. All right, it should be there for inspiration.
See, and that's what I always like about things like supplements over modules, because like Rock Junction and the Gangbusters stuff that Mark's come up with, even the old stuff, has given me a lot of good ideas for the games. And it's just like, okay, here's a business or an NPC or something, and they set it up for you, what it's like, and then I can take it from there. What can I do with this? That's what I'm looking for. I just need something I can take and just mold it into what I want. Like I said, half the stuff that I did for Gangbusters was, well, we've got this place. What can I do with Joe's Diner? What can I do with this warehouse near the railroad station?
Right.
And I just went from there. That's what I love about those kind of things. I mean, modules, yeah, okay, modules, fine. And if you got a really good module, there's some modules that are like half supplement anyway, because they want to. I mean, pull down one of Greg's, like pull down Barrow Maze.
Oh God, that's
you got the Barrow Maze, you got the graveyard, and then you got the town around it, or the area around it, and I can take that and come up with a lot of stuff. That's what TSR used to do. Like Forgotten Realm stuff.
Yeah.
The Midderlands. Same with the Midderlands. He gives you a couple of modules, but he just dumps the stuff on you. It's like, here's your clay, make something of it with it.
Yeah. Agile, thank you for dropping in.
Yeah, Agile, thanks.
So
yeah.
Oh man.
So that's the way I like to do it. If you have an atlas or something, I mean, I should go through the Arduino atlas and find something to use for Hyperborea. Hyperborea is a great atlas. I mean, the gazetteer for the Hyperborea is great because I've taken 2 or 3 locations and strung some stuff together. I love improv. I do too, Dave.
I do too, dude. I keeps me on my toes.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It makes the game fun for me.
You know what I find intimidating as a GM? When I'm not going to count things like Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk or anything like that, which was made for this kind of clay adventure building.
Right.
But what I'm intimidated by, and that can fall under Gangbusters too, those places that have a real genre IP, and not even, I mean, D6 Star Wars, I could probably do something with, but not on a long term. But things like Hyperborea, I know what it's based on. And the whole idea for me is I kind of want to reflect that. But I look at it and I go, can I do this? Am I going to get the flavor of this in the adventures that aren't modules? I'm talking about my own stuff here.
Right.
So that's kind of intimidating to me. I don't know about you.
To some extent. I mean, like I said, I'm more intimidated, I think, by GMing for a group of strangers than any of the content that I might have to worry about.
Really?
Yes. And which is weird because, well, usually because in a group of strangers, I'm not, they're strangers to me, but they know me from here. So there's an expectation. So you kind of have to, balance some of that out. But hey, believe it or not, we have hit the 1 hour mark. It's almost like a witching hour.
Yay.
So, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Huge thank you to Glenn. Huge thank you to everybody who showed up for this
High five.
new afternoon live stream here from New York and Oklahoma. Really do appreciate
You're Oklahoma.
everybody. This will be a semi-regular weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, but what day? Unsure.
Regular. And if Bad Mike gets on here, it'll be pretty much, you're going to get the semi in it. Yeah.
Well, again, I want to thank everybody. So, next live stream is tonight, by the way, 8 p.m., I believe.
Yay.
Yeah.
Then you're going to do the Discord after that, right?
And then do the Discord. Yeah, today's going to be a busy day. I should get paid for this shit. I got to figure out a way to get paid.
You and me both, man.
So other than that, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice.
Good night, folks. Radio Grognard, Thecos Hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn, remind Glenn, if he had a YouTube channel, he could simulcast this and then be building his channel.
Building that channel. You're probably right. But anyway, good night, folks. Or good afternoon, folks.
Good night. Good later.